So, the key not to dying is loading up on broccoli. Don't worry, I got a place just for you.
Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about something everybody loves. Fats. Well, I'm going to be calling these things lipids because that is the nutrition thing for it. Time to time I'll change it up from lipids to fats, so you guys just got to get used to it. So, call them lipids. But these bad boys have a lot more in it, calorie-wise. For 1 gram of fats, you have 9 calories. And compared to your proteins and carbs, there's only 4 calories per 1 gram. So that's why eating a lot of fats builds up fast and your calorie count just gets insanely high. That's why a lot of people will tell you to try to avoid the fats. And 1, they're higher in calories. And 2, your fats are also converted into fat the easiest. And
Hey guys, so after reviewing that, I realized the sentence is a little confusing, so I wanted to explain it a little better so you guys can understand it. What I'm trying to say is that your lipids, which is your macros, is converted to fat storage inside the body. So I hope you guys understand this. So thank you. Please enjoy.
also, they don't take that much effort to break down, so your body doesn't have to use as much energy to break down these fats. So the reason why it's important to know these macros is so that way, it's summertime right now. We got about a month before everyone's able to actually start hitting the beach. Over where I live, everyone that's crazy is on the beaches right now. I might be one of those people. We're not gonna talk about that though. But yeah, so that way we can get those nice, hot looking summer bods you've been begging and yearning for. I'm gonna get you there. So for now, these next few videos are just the basics, and then we're gonna be going into weight loss videos and fitness videos, just the kind of stuff everyone on YouTube kind of talks about. And after I get that going, we're gonna be talking about so much bigger stuff that not a lot of people go over. And it's gonna be some pretty original stuff, and I've been studying it for a while here now, and be excited. So we have 2 types of lipids. We have the healthy lipids and we have the unhealthy lipids. With the healthy lipids, it's gonna be unsaturated fat, and for the ones that are bad, it's gonna be saturated fat. It's kind of weird. I know these guys, whoever came up with them, were super unique with these namings of these fats, but hey, it's what we got, it's what we gotta use, and I guess that's what we call them now. So let's go over unsaturated fats first. The reason I'm going over these guys first is because it was the first one to pop in my head, and I feel like they deserve the spotlight right now. So these healthy fats, the reason why they're known as these, that words. So these are your healthy fats. The reason why it's known as your healthy fats is because it lowers your blood cholesterol, it lowers blood pressure, and it prevents heart disease. Well, it can. The reason why it does that is because if you're eating these over the saturated fats, which kind of starts causing these issues, can prevent these things to happen. And there's a lot of things in unsaturated fats, like your omegas, which we'll be getting to here in a second, help you in lowering those 3 things. And I mean, come on, I think we all have issues with our heart from time to time, especially when we get older. For those of us who don't think about that, maybe we should start. I don't know, it's not a bad idea. So these fats are liquid at room temperature. It's just kind of a cool fact to know that like unsaturated fats are like a liquid, so it's kind of like you're drinking water. I mean, just imagine being able to like, just go outside and you're just drinking a bottle of fat. Wait, fish oils, those are liquid. So now there is a common occurrence between these fats because there's 2 types of fat. Now there's 2 types of unsaturated fats. You have your you have your monounsaturated fats and you have your polyunsaturated fats. Now, these words, super creative, mean exactly how they sound. Monounsaturated means it's a single bond. I know, interesting. And polyunsaturated means it's multiple bonds. I know, kind of boring, but hey guys, if you learn all this stuff and you understand what's going into your body, you can really overcome the mentality of not being able to get somewhere. You can always lose weight, you can always build weight, but if you don't have the knowledge, you'll never be able to. I mean, I guess there's some of us out there that are just lucky and have the genetics of a Greek god, but those who are unlucky, like myself, who doesn't have the best genetics, who had to work for where I am at, this is how I did it. So the monounsaturated fats, they're less healthy, but they're still healthy. I know, weird, but the reason why these are a little unhealthier than the polyunsaturated fat is because they're a single bond, which doesn't take as much effort to break apart, but they are a lot harder to break apart than your saturated fats. And you can find these guys in your avocados, which, man, I love avocados. And also a bunch of oils, like oil of the olive oil, that stuff. I'd recommend choosing that over any other type of cooking ware, like any butter or like any other type of oil, unless it's sunflower oil. I love sunflower oil. I highly recommend using that. But sometimes I use Pam, which kind of seems gross, but I mean, 0 calorie, and I try to savor my calories as much as possible. So yeah, that's what I do. So you guessed it, the polyunsaturated fats. So what's the difference between the monosaturated and the polyunsaturated fats? Well, these fats have multiple bonds, so obviously they're harder to break apart. The harder things are to break apart in your body causes you to need more energy. The more energy you're needing to use in your body means it's healthier. Why? It's because you're having your body constantly be working. I mean, think about it. If you're just laying in bed all day and you're just eating, and you're sleeping, you're sitting, what happens? You're getting fat. You're going to be gaining fat because your body is not working at all. So it's the same thing as moving your body physically as it is inside your body. You want to make sure the inside of your body is working just as hard as the outside of you going to the gym or going for a walk or running or doing sports. You want to make sure you're constantly running your engine. It's kind of like a car analogy. I mean, yeah, you're going to maintain the outlooks of a car, but what's really important about it is the engine. You're not going to just forget about the engine, are you? I mean, what happens if it just dies? Your car's done, it's totaled. So the body is exactly like that. You want to make sure you're constantly feeding the inside of it, so that way it's running properly. There's so many aspects of it, and that's why I have these videos, so that way you can learn how to do all this. So people always tell you, have your omegas. I'm sure you've heard, high rich omega-3, oh, high in omega-6 in commercials and ads all the time, or in products. Why? Have you ever stopped to think, oh my gosh, this has omega-3, and actually know why that's good for you? Because honestly, I didn't really know until I was 17 researching this. I mean, I just kind of went with it and said, oh, okay, sounds healthy, I'm gonna do it. The omega-6s seem less popular than the omega-3s in many reasons, but mostly because people don't think they have as many health benefits. But don't ignore these guys. They actually have an insane amount of health benefits, just like omega-3s. But for now, we're gonna talk about the omega-3s. The omega-3s lowers blood triglyceride levels and blood pressure. I really had to think about how to pronounce triglycerides. That was a tough word. So what does this mean? Why is it important to lower your blood pressure and your triglycerides? Well, it pretty much means it's gonna make your heart use less strain on it, I guess you could say. Your heart beats, right? And you want to stay, I believe the average is 72 or lower. So if it beats 92 beats per minute, I mean, think about how much strain that's building on your heart. I had actually insanely high beats per minute. I think mine highest for constant was 112. And what's happening is your heart is causing it to over-exhaust itself. And when that happens to your heart, it causes it to use too much energy and break apart. So if it breaks apart, that means it's just gonna stop. It's like overworking an engine. If you overwork it, it's gonna overheat and it's gonna die out. There's a healthy in-between balance of what you should be doing with your body. You can really find these guys in a variety of nuts, but walnuts and chia seeds are probably the best places to find these. I believe fish oils are loaded with these guys as well, and it'd be fantastic. You should try those, it'd be amazing. And then you can also find your omega-6s also in a lot of nuts. As of recently, I've kind of realized that nuts are fantastic for you. I should be eating more nuts. Don't get any ideas. And sunflower seeds. You should also be eating sunflower seeds. I love sunflower seeds. I used to eat those things, just chilling in my office. I still actually do this. I chill in my office, break them apart in my mouth, and I eat them. They're so good, and it keeps me distracted from not wanting to be at work. Now on to saturated fats. Saturated fats are known as the bad fat. They're not necessarily bad fats. They just tend to be known to drive up cholesterol levels. It's not completely proven, but it is shown often that if you have a high saturated fat diet, then you tend to have higher cholesterol levels. They're kind of correlated in a sense. So it's kind of looking like that's the belief in this. The reason why the cholesterol levels tend to raise is because saturated fats raise the LDL levels, which is the bad cholesterol. So when this happens, it causes a blockage or a buildup in the heart that causes any kind of heart deficiency, mostly known strokes, heart attacks, those type of things that we don't like to have in our lives. It kind of puts a nice little stop in doing things we love, especially eating a nice big huge juicy steak or those fried foods. Most nutrition experts recommend keeping saturated fats below 10% of our diet from calories. So eat more unsaturated fats instead of your saturated fats. So how do we stay away from these saturated fats? Well, for one, saturated fats are found mostly in animal products, as in your chicken breast. Not much in there, but mostly in steaks. Those bad boys like ground beef, oof, those bad boys, those have a lot of saturated fat in those. Also, whole milk tends to have a lot more saturated fat in it. Like I said, these fats aren't proven to cause heart disease, but when you eat saturated fats over unsaturated fats, it tends to increase the chances. But if you're eating unsaturated fats, it's lowering them, so it's doing the opposite, obviously. So I'd recommend eating the unsaturated fats again. There's nothing wrong with eating the saturated fats, so if you want to do that, it's fine by me. Just try to eat a safe consumption. My motto, again, too much of one thing is a bad thing. So I'm just gonna limit my talk on saturated fats here, and I know I said there are only 2 fats, but there is another. So the next fat here is gonna be trans fat. And I know you guys have heard of this before. I'm sure all the food labels it says trans fat 0. So the reason why all your foods nowadays have 0 trans fat is because back in 2015, the FDA showed a lot of scientific evidence that these fats cause many heart deficiencies. So in 2015, they gave a 3-year ban notice. So that means all the food makers, all the chefs, they only have 3 years to get rid of trans fat from all of their products. In 2018, which is 2 years ago now, they're no longer trans fat in any of the food. So if you're looking at something that has trans fat in it, maybe it's not from America, maybe it's from China, just keep an eye out for these guys, because these guys are known to be insanely harmful to the body. Eating these over any other fat tends to increase the chances of heart deficiencies by 30%. All right, guys, so the moral of this with fats is try to eat unsaturated fats over saturated fats. What I would recommend doing is just eating more avocados, more healthy oils, more salmon. Salmon's a great source of all the omegas. Find things that are high and rich in the unsaturated fat. It's not too hard to do that. It's just do a slow progress in the change of diet. Don't just immediately think, oh wow, this is easy, I'm gonna go straight to this, because that usually never works for people. Normally they can only keep it up for a couple of days. But now we have one more thing that I'm going to be going over that's coming out next week, and that's going to be the proteins. So these proteins, I'm saving the best for last because all of you guys just tend to just love protein. What I'll do is this video is going to be coming out, proteins are coming out, and then I plan to have a weight loss and a weight gain video for you guys. Get more interesting stuff, just so I can help you guys, and it'll be perfect. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Jeremiah McDonald, and this was Blue Nutrition.